Hello students, in this video we will discuss chapter number 8, how do organisms reproduce. In previous chapter of biology we learn about different life processes which are essential for life such as nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion, etc. With all these life processes, reproduction is also an important and essential process. Reproduction is the process in which a living organism produces new living organism of its own kind. As every organism has lifespan. After completing that lifespan, each one will die. So, for continuity of species, reproduction is essential. It is important life process. Organism produce new offspring of its own kind through reproduction, and we can see number of species. Also, reproduction helps in evolution process because variation formed during reproduction are the basis for evolution. It is important for stability of population of species. So, like other life processes, reproduction is vital for survival of life and existence of life. There are two types of reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is the mode of reproduction in which a single parent is involved in the formation of new organism without fusion of gametes. So in this only one parent is involved and no formation and fusion of gamete takes place. Sexual reproduction is the mode of reproduction in which both sexes, that is male and female, are involved to produce new generation. We'll see difference between asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction involves single parent or it is uniparental. Uni means one, so in this only one parent is involved. And sexual reproduction requires two parents, so it is biparental. In asexual reproduction, the offspring are identical to their parent. They are genetically identical to the parent, and in sexual reproduction, offsprings are different from the parent. All prokaryotes and some eukaryotes reproduce by this way, by the asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, no formation and fusion of gamete is there. Also, no fertilization of gamete. It involves only mitosis. So, in this reproduction, the type of cell division is mitosis. That is, one diploid cell will give rise to two diploid daughter cell. Multiplication occurs very rapidly. So, it can produce many offspring very quickly in short period of time. There is no variation, so it does not contribute to evolution of species. As the offsprings are genetically identical to parent, so it does not contribute in the process of variation and in the process of evolution. Whereas as sexual reproduction is biparental, here parent produce gametes by meiosis and fertilization takes place. It involves both mitosis and meiosis. So, type of cell division, initially it will be mitosis, it will form haploid cell, then formation and fusion of gamete takes place. Daughter organism is different from parents. Multiplication is not rapid as asexual reproduction. So it requires more time and energy to produce offspring. During sexual reproduction, due to change in DNA makeup, variation takes place, which contributes to evolution of species. So, due to variation in the sexual reproduction, it plays very important role in the process of evolution. Now we will discuss about different modes of asexual reproduction. As I told, asexual reproduction is observed in prokaryotes and some eukaryotes. It is generally takes place in the lower organisms having simple body design. Different modes of reproduction used by single organism or different methods of asexual reproduction are fission, fragmentation, regeneration, budding, spore formation and vegetative propagation. We will see first one, that is fission. See, fission means dividing or splitting. So from this name we can understand that in this type of asexual reproduction, unicellular organism divides or splits to form new individuals. So in this splitting of unicellular organism, splitting of cell takes place to form new cells. It is mainly found in unicellular organisms. There are two types of fission, binary fission and multiple fission. See, binary fission. Bi means two and fission means splitting. So, in binary fission, an unicellular organism splits into two new organisms. Example, many bacteria, amoeba, paramecium all reproduce by this method. Depending on the plane of cell division, binary fission is having three types. It is of three types. First one is organism can split from transverse plane. For example, bacteria. This is bacterial cell. This bacterial cell will split transversely and will give rise to two daughter cells, two new bacteria. Another type of binary fission is organism can split from any plane. Here we can see example of amoeba. Amoeba, as it is having irregular shape, it can split from any plane. Third one is organism can split longitudinally. Organism splits from the longitudinal plane. For example, Leishmania. See, this figure 8.1b. This Leishmania is the causative agent of Kala-Azar. It is a protozoa. It has a whip-like structure. See, this thread-like, whip-like structure is there at the end of its cell. And so, during cell division, it divides longitudinally. See, in the cell division, first of all, karyokinesis takes place and then cytokinesis. Means during cell division, the nucleus get divides and then cell cytoplasm get divided. Second type of fission is the multiple fission, in which the single organism divides into many new organisms. For example, Plasmodium. Plasmodium is a malarial parasite. This Plasmodium divides into many daughter cells simultaneously. Also, amoeba shows this type of fission during unfavorable condition. Here around this Plasmodium we can see the cyst. It is a hard covering. In this it develops around the cell during unfavorable condition, and within that the cell division takes place, number of daughter cells are formed, and when condition become favorable, the cyst will break down and the daughter cells will come out and will survive as individual organism. Next is fragmentation. It is mainly present in multicellular organisms. So fission we can observe in unicellular organism. Fragmentation is present in multicellular organisms with simple body organization. For example, Spirogyra. Spirogyra is filamentous algae, has filamentous structure. Fragmentation means organism simply splits into small fragments or small pieces on maturation. when the cell or when the Spirogyra become mature, it will split into small fragments, small filaments, and each of these fragments or pieces grows into new individual. We can see in the diagram. So this is the parent Spirogyra. It on maturation it divides, it splits into small pieces, small fragments, and then each fragment will develop as an individual organism. Next is regeneration. In this type of reproduction, fully differentiated organism give rise to new organism from their body parts. So in this type of reproduction, organism or a developed organism can form another organism from their body parts. They do this with the help of specialized cells, which can make all the type of cells in the body. So the organisms which are having specialized cell in the body, those can show the regeneration. For example, Hydra, Planaria, starfish, etc. shows this process. In this process, if the parent body is broken up into many pieces, some of these pieces grow into separate individuals. The specialized cells undergo repeated cell division and forms large number of cells. We can see here regeneration in Planaria. Planaria is the organism in which first of all eye-like structure was found. If the body of Planaria cut into pieces, then each piece will grow into new individual. Here we can see in the diagram, if its body is cut into pieces, then each piece can give rise to new Planaria. Next is budding. Unicellular fungi, yeast, Hydra shows this type of reproduction. Bud is the small projection outgrowth on the body of parent organism. This bud attains maturity, shape like parent organism, and get detached from the parent body and develop as individual organism or as a new organism. For example, yeast. In yeast, a small outgrowth, bud-like outgrowth takes place, and that gets separate and grows further into an individual. In yeast, sometimes this process takes place 2 or 3 times continuously and forms multicellular colony like this. Certain lower animals like Hydra also reproduce by budding. Hydra use regenerative cells for reproduction in the process of budding. So Hydra is also having regenerative cells. At the time of reproduction, those regenerative cells forms a small projection or outgrowth on the body of Hydra. In Hydra, bud develops as an outgrowth due to repeated cell division in a specific site. This bud develops into tiny individual and when fully mature, detach from the parent body and become a new independent individual. Next is vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. This type of reproduction occurs in plants. When new plants are developed from vegetative part of plants like root, stem or leaves under appropriate condition. So, vegetative propagation is a type of asexual reproduction in which vegetative parts of plant like root, stem, leaves can form new plant or new organism in appropriate condition. It occurs naturally in many plants. For example, Bryophyllum. This is the leaf of Bryophyllum. It has buds all around its margin. When these leaves fall onto the ground or fall on the soil, it germinates and new plant develops. So here vegetative part, leaf is able to reproduce. There are many advantages of vegetative propagation. Potato is the stem of plant. When the eyes of potato are buried into the soil, it can develop potato plant. Also sweet potato, onion, ginger, all those can develop by the vegetative propagation. There are many advantages of vegetative propagation, like plants raised by this method can bear flowers, fruits earlier than other plants. So if we sow seed, it will take time to germinate and to form plants. But as the vegetative parts are able to give rise to plant, so in short period of time the plant can bear fruits and flowers with the help of vegetative propagation. The plants that have lost the capacity to produce seeds can also produce by vegetative propagation. For example, banana, orange, rose, jasmine, all these plants can be produced without seed. The plants produced by this method are genetically similar to the parent plant. As it is asexual mode of reproduction, so it will give rise to the genetically similar plants. Nowadays, artificial vegetative propagation is used for improved variety of plant, for early and more yield production. Methods of artificial vegetative propagation are cutting, grafting, layering and tissue culture. See, in cutting, a slant cut is given to plant stem so that meristematic tissue get activate and growth takes place. Plant like rose, money plant can grow by this method. You might have developed plant in this way. By giving slant cut to the stem, we can develop the plant from that stem. This is the cutting. Grafting. In grafting, we can merge two or more characteristics of two plants in one plant. For example, one plant is giving more fruits and another is giving sweet fruits. So, by grafting, we can merge these two characteristics in only one plant. In this, one part is taken as stalk and other as scion. This scion is fixed on the stalk and it is packed with polythene. We can also use some growth hormone at this place. It is tied well and after few days we can see that it will grow as one plant having characteristics of both the plants. We can do grafting of apple, mango and many plants or fruit bearing plants. Next is layering. In layering, flexible branch of plant is buried into the soil. After few days it grows as new plant. Jasmine, strawberry, we can do the artificial propagation of such plants. Next is tissue culture. It is an advanced technique by which new plants are grown by removing tissue or separating cells from growing tip of plant. As we know that the tip of plant, that may be root tip or the shoot tip, is having meristematic tissue which are responsible for the growth. So, we are taking the cells from tip, growing tip of root or stem. Then these cells are placed in growth medium which contains growth promoting hormones. So, in laboratory we are maintaining proper temperature or surrounding condition and we keep these cells in a growth medium. Cell divide rapidly and form cell mass called callus. Then the callus is transferred to another medium which contains growth hormone and hormones for cell differentiation, and by that the plantlets are formed. The plantlets are then placed in soil it is planted in soil and from that the plant can grow. So this is the method of tissue culture, that from the cell in controlled condition cell mass is formed called as callus. From callus plantlet, and then from plantlet plant is developed. So in tissue culture, from one plant we can grow number of plants, and these plants can be grown in disease free conditions. Next is last type of asexual reproduction, that is spore formation. Students, if we keep a wet bread slice for 3 to 4 hours in cool, moist and dark place, you will find a greenish appearance on it. These greenish substances are fungus, bread mold or rhizopus. This rhizopus has hyphae. It is not the reproductive part, but on those hyphae blob on a stick like structure is present called as sporangia. Sporangia is a blob like structure which contains cells or spores. It is reproductive part of rhizopus that can develop into new individuals. The spores are covered by thick wall for protection. Here in this diagram we can see blob like structure is there, and in that spores are there. These spores are the reproductive parts and they can give rise to new rhizopus. And the spores are covered by thick walls for protection. Until spore comes in contact with another moist surface and can begin to grow, it helps in survival in unfavorable conditions. So spores are protected, and in unfavorable conditions protection is given by the thick wall around the spore. So all these are different modes of asexual reproduction. Thank you and have a nice day.